All right, Celtics live postgame. Can you say winning streak? It was another heart pounder, but the Celtics squeaked it out, taking the dub against the Clippers. I mean, I'm already red. Usually it takes me halfway through the stream to get this red, but I am already red. And before I see the chat going off about, hey, Ev, you've worn that hoodie for the past 3 streams, the Celtics are on a winning streak. If you think that I have changed my clothes or showered once during this winning streak, you're the lunatic. But the Celtics take the dub against the team that, even without Kawhi Leonard, is considered one of the better teams in the league. They win 117 to 112. And, the usual suspects didn't exactly step up tonight. We'll talk about when we get into the box score, but Tatum, Brown didn't have the biggest of games, but we had a few guys absolutely step up and, make some timely plays. So before we get into the box score, I got some news for you guys, and we'll talk about them a little bit later in the stream. But tonight's stream is sponsored by Manscaped. Guys, if you want to clean up down there, you know exactly what I mean. Girls, too, head over to manscaped.com. Use the code CELTSLIVE. Celtics Live is going to take 20% off your order and free shipping. The stream's got a presenting sponsor for now. Let's go. How about a round of applause? If that's a way to support me, if you want to support me, support the show while also getting some awesome products, head over to manscaped.com. Again, the code is Celtics Live, 20% off and free shipping. Let's get into the box score, why don't we? Like I said, the usual the suspects didn't turn up here. Jason Tatum, 14 points on 5 of 16, 1 of 5 from 3. Yikes. 14, 5 and 5 from him. Jaylen Brown started off hot. I thought he was going to go for, 6 million points tonight, the way he was playing in that first. 18 points from him, 8 of 14, and 5 rebounds there. Kemba Walker led the way, 25 points and 6 assists, but this is the guy I want to mention here. Pritchard played well. Thompson had 13 as well. The guy I want to mention, and I'm sure you guys know where we're going with this, Robert Willaims had, let's update this as we go here, had 13 points. He is the Celtics Live postgame player of the game. 13 points, 8 rebounds. Robert Willaims. First-time winner. He's like the first, I think, semi-won one, but we've had the usual, Tatum, Brown, Kemba winning it. Robert Willaims finally gets what he deserves. He was the difference maker tonight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I could hear the argument of Kemba was really the player of the game, but I've made it a statement that player of the game is not just going to be the guy that scores the most points, right? It's not. It's Robert Willaims who made the biggest difference tonight. So let's get into some chat. We got to win. The chat is flying. I'm probably going to have to skip chat tonight, skip some chat just to keep up with it. But we got everyone in here saying, let's go. Robert Willaims, MVP. Romeo Watch has officially begun. I'm talking about the W's, big W's coming in here. We're skipping ahead in the chat just to stay a little recent. We got AC saying shotgun on a Tuesday. No shotgun, but I will say I was not planning on having a victory beer. It's a Tuesday. Wasn't really feeling it. But the way that ended, 2 reasons. We need a celebratory crack. So I got Lord Hobo 617 here. That just sprayed all over my desk. Great start. But for 2 reasons, 1, to celebrate, and then 2, I just got to calm down. I don't know if you guys could tell. We're only a few minutes into the stream, and my face is red as Santa Claus. It's crazy. But Robert Willaims did it to me. I tweeted out, I said I'd go to war for him, and honestly, watching Robert Willaims there made me so damn happy. He crushed it. So again, he was the Celtics Live postgame player of the game. Player of the game. Again, guys, it's going to be tough to keep up with chat. We are flying on chat tonight. Emmanuel says, we are not going anywhere. J-Max saying, let's go, C's. Ubi says, guess whose money line I took today? Ubi took Celts money line. You banked. You cashed on that. I think they were like plus 4.5 too, right? So you got some good odds there with the underdog. Jenna's saying Celtics. Kemba, exactly, guys. Is that the guy we want to trade? Do we want to trade Kemba Walker still? Jason Tatum, dud of a game. Kind of. Jaylen Brown started off hot, dudded for some, serious time after that. Kemba Walker was the scoring force out there tonight. Let's go, Kemba. Peter saying, great win for tonight. It was a great win. And I know I'll hear the argument that Kawhi wasn't there. It's a completely different Clippers team. Whatever. But when they showed that graphic, they actually have a winning record without Kawhi. So, hey, whatever. Isaiah saying, awesome game. Jenna saying, 1 more for the 40% code. Yeah, you're waiting. Got to pick this stuff up. All right. Isaiah saying congrats on the sponsor. LA saying let's go Celtics. That's awesome. Yeah, guys, we do have the sponsor. If you missed it, today we are sponsored by Manscaped from now through the end of March. Using code CelticsLive will take 20% off your order, and you get free shipping as well. They sent me the product. That's what this box is. Guys, this stuff's awesome. Girls and guys. I know I keep saying guys. It really is. It's the self-grooming, personal hygiene. It's going to get nice out pretty soon. You don't want to be gross. Manscaped.com. It's the way to support the stream, too, and support me. So I would definitely appreciate you guys going and checking that out. That is a really good deal. 20% off and free shipping. Dean saying good bench production. PP, Timelord, and Teague, good minutes. Teague's been playing well. I mean, he wasn't, like, extreme tonight. He's been playing well, but you look at Semi playing well. Robert Williams, like Peyton Pritchard. When the Celtics bench performs, they get dubs. And Robert Williams, I mean, I'm pretty damn close to saying that guy's not a bench guy. Let's start that guy. Seriously. AC saying paging Aaron Nesmith. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of falling out of the rotation. But good news. Good news is someone else is falling out of the rotation. Grant Williams. But no, really, Aaron Nesmith. It's tough because he was playing so well. Like, I don't see the reasoning. I don't know. Let's see. Joe Smart saying he played in clutch minutes. Timelord did. Jenna saying I like confident Kemba. New saying Thompson needs to run late on games. Offensive rebounds were killing us in the second half. Pierce saying let's see Kemba does after the All-Star break. I'll be back to the old Kemba. I think he is right now. And I said it last stream. Once Kemba starts playing back-to-back games, that's when I can proclaim that Kemba Walker's back. His play is back. Ladies and gentlemen, his play is back. 25, 6, and 4 tonight. 50% from 3, 42% from the field overall. I mean, Kemba's play is back. I just don't want that health to be any much of a concern there. We're skipping ahead in the chat just a little bit. Gear saying, yes, Lord. Isaiah saying he's starting to play damn good. Jordan saying, JB elite defensively on PG. Did you see that adjustment? So I think that's probably why Jaylen Brown sort of started to dud out on the offensive end. He switched on to Paul George, and Paul George did not have the fourth quarter that he had, in the first half of the game. Really, really good job. I think he ended up having over 30 points, if I believe, but seriously, they locked Paul George. He had 32 up, but he had like 20 plus in the first, so they locked Paul George up. Timelord saying, Kale saying Timelord late minutes, congrats. Too many saying we need this more from Kemba. Guys, we've had this from Kemba. What, are we crazy? Kemba's had like 1 or 2 games in the last 12 that he didn't play well, and we've had this from Kemba. I will say, when you say this, I'll give you some credit here, too many. In terms of just carrying and being the workhorse and the guy that has the ball in his hands, I'll give you that because Kemba's been, some of these 20+ point nights he has, it's like off ball scoring. But we've had some damn good play from Kemba lately. News says, I guess I'm picky, but I can't get over how bad Rob is in the post. Gives up so much ground. He has to get stronger, but he did make some nice plays today. That's fair. I mean, the guy's not Superman, you know what I mean? I mean, he flies like he is, but that's not his game right now. You put on pounds, you get the fundamentals down as you start playing, and I hope he starts playing more. Kale saying Teague with some solid minutes. Guys, if I am missing your chat, just keep asking it. I'm going to try and keep recent with the chat. We have so many tonight. As you can expect, big win. So I'm just going to keep flying here. But yeah, if you're watching I forgot to say this too, because we announced the sponsor today. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Periscope or Twitch, head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe there. Just in a couple months now, I think we just surpassed, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we surpassed 320 subscribers last stream or today or something like that. So shout out to us. Shout out to you guys. Love it. Sergio saying we better beat the Hospital Raptors. Guys, that'll be 4 in a row. And after 4 in a row, going into the All-Star break, you get the 40% off code for the merch. Don't forget about that. Nick saying first game, all 3 centers contributed this season. They all contributed in their own way, which is what you need. That's how you have the 3-headed monster of these centers, when they all can contribute because they're all so different. Ray saying trade for Rondo. AC saying the defense really ramped up. Only 1 turnover in the fourth. It was a different team. I mean, they played okay in the first half, but that was a Celtics team that saw the comeback from the Clippers. Or not even the comeback, but, the Clippers momentum starting to ramp up, and Brad Stevens, multiple timeouts right on cue. Shout out to Brad. And then the Celtics just kind of, dug in and said, no, we're not blowing this game away. We're going to compete. We're going to compete. We're going to make some big plays, and let's go out and win it, which they did. Dean saying, great to see Kemba playing well. Isaiah saying, the last game I was blaming Brad, but this comeback on the win streak is also thanks to him. He's grown up as a manager, which is what we've asked for. All we've said this entire season on the stream is, Brad, I don't want you fired. Just improve as a coach, which isn't that much to ask. timeouts, momentum, feel for the momentum, I should say. You know, playing guys that should be playing like Robert Willaims. He's finally starting to improve, which is, I mean, we're halfway through the year, so some might say that's late, but I look as it, glass half full. Brad Stevens is coming around on this team now. The players are clicking, and, everything's looking up, and, maybe they're a move or two away from really making a play this year. Gear saying Rob being a good perimeter defender makes him so much better. And I wouldn't say he's a good perimeter defender, moving laterally and whatnot, but the fact that he can so quickly close out when someone goes to shoot a jump shot is just unbelievable. Like, a guard will take a jump shot, and Robert Willaims is on his heels because the guy just crossed him up, and then he jumps and it puts his hands up and tries to block it, and, often he does. Kale saying, I think the fact that Kemba Walker's back means that he finally has trade value. If he has another significant injury, which seems to be likely, then we go through this again, we won't survive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's likely that he would have another injury. Maybe because it's like he seemingly can't get out of the injury slump, so I'll give you that. But I think it's going to be tough to trade Kemba Walker. No matter how well he's playing, I think any team's going to take the injuries into account, and then you're going to have to deal with the money and trying to match salaries there. Even with the TP, I wouldn't associate that with it. But let's just hope, Kale, for you, me, and everyone else in the chat's sake, that Kemba Walker isn't, gonna get injured again or something major like that. Tommy says, again, whoever said Kemba should be traded is extremely weird, and do not talk to me. Without Kemba, we lose by 30. That's just because he scored and played extremely well on both ends. I've been saying it on the stream. A bunch of you guys in the chat have been saying it. On nights where Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum don't carry the scoring load, if you trade Kemba Walker for like Alonzo Ball or someone else, where do you end up? With a loss in this game, that's for damn sure. You need a guy that can be that 20-point-per-game scorer, and Kemba was tonight. Raisin saying, I hope this winning streak doesn't mean Danny doesn't trade for anybody. Yeah, I would hate to see that be the case. I still think this team has holes. Obviously, needs improvement in some areas, but maybe that big man concern that everyone is talking about, maybe Robert Willaims slides in and takes part of that need and fills that void a little bit, and then Tice and Thompson, a little bit of work comes off their plate, and maybe the three of them can all play well to be that big man that the Celtics need. Ian saying, don't wait to say it, just say it. After the break, Rob needs to start at the 5, Kemba, Smart, JB, JT, Rob. I want Robert to start. I don't understand why he's not. We keep hearing the hip. I'm not going to get into it again this stream because I keep saying, like, if it's the hip, tell me it's the legitimate hip, because everyone says, oh, he's managing the hip. Bull! What? If you're managing a guy's hip, he's not playing 22 minutes like he did tonight, not playing 18 minutes last game. You can't say it's the hip because you would be managing it a lot more, under a microscope. It's not the hip. He clearly has no minutes restriction or anything like that. Start the guy. What do you have to lose? He's playing amazing right now. And guess what? If he doesn't work out or he's getting beat, who cares? Take him out. Put in the guys you have been starting. It's not like it's a huge risk to start him. Kale says he wants Danny to sell high on Kemba. I don't know if there's any. That's my concern with it. I don't know if any team would buy high on Kemba. That's sort of my drawback to that. Greg Wiegert, what's going on, man? Says, any fear in the 3-point contest messing with the shots of Brown and Tatum? I hope not. I mean, the one thing I would say is if a guy goes into that as like the favorite or he should win, and then he goes out and absolutely drops a dud and stinks in 3-point contest, I could see that messing with his mechanics or anything like that. But I hope they both go into that just thinking it's fun. Sergio says, Brad called some great timeouts tonight. Every one of his timeouts were timely. There was one where the Clippers started to come back or they just took the lead, and Brad called it after like 5 points of a swing. Celtics didn't score, Clippers scored, Celtics didn't score, Clippers scored again, Brad timeout, and I was like, who the hell is this coach? I love him. And it was amazing to see. Tucker says, will that Thursday Toronto game get postponed? It's something to look at. I mean, their coach, assistant coach too, I think, and like 1 million players aren't playing, right? Or aren't expected to play. So it's something to keep an eye on. Quinn says, how blind does Brad have to be? Rob got up for those clutch rebounds. I've never seen Tice get up for those. I don't know why Brad hasn't been playing Rob. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Kale says, I think Brad had very solid late game management tonight as well. Challenged, forced a timeout out of clips, and we had one left. Other than Jaylen, failed switch, we looked nice. Yeah, I think Brad coached a good game, and I do think the personnel at the end of the game fit the situation. Tommy says, one of the biggest wins this year. Lose this tonight, we could be below 500. That's another thing, too. Cheers to being above 500 again. I didn't know if we'd ever get back there. By 2 with a lose to the Raps next. Great win. Gear says, everybody be sure to like the stream. Here's the teleprompter. We can always count on Gear for this. Guys, everyone be sure to like the stream. Get more people in here, and we continue to build this community. We have an awesome community so far, right? I mean, look at what we're building so far. We have fun, win or loss in here. I get red. You guys can laugh at me getting red, I guess. You know, it's not really fair. It's probably the camera, right? It's not me. I'm tan. Trust me. Let's see. Jan saying Taco is the best center of the four. Not tonight. Robert Williams, definitely. I don't think there's a need for Taco tonight. Kale says 30 likes tonight. 30 likes on a huge W stream. What are we at right now? Someone give me a like update. What are we at right now? Let's try and hit 30 likes. I don't know if we've hit that on the stream. That's like 10% of our sub count, right? All right. I'm going to take a sip of this because my throat's getting sore, so apologies for the silence, but I'm doing it. I'm not going to lie. That just went down the wrong pipe. Oh, I deserve that. All right, skipping ahead in the chat just a little bit here. Greg says, you know, low-key want to bet on the Raptors. You don't lose money on the 40%. I hedge either way, right? Jordan says, why was JB iced out in the second half? He was legit on fire in the first. I don't know, but I'm not going to lie, and this is not to, you know, rag on Jalen, but so often I see this happen where Jalen doesn't, like, assert himself in the offense, which is fine. He is a guy that lets the game come to him. He's not like, let me go create everything myself, but I'm wondering if it has to be because he started covering Paul George a lot more than he was. That could definitely be, and I'm willing to bet that that's the reason. All right, so I'm not holding that against Jalen, but I will say he was on fire, and that just kind of fizzled out. But luckily, it didn't come back to hurt him because that would definitely be something him and Tatum would both be looking at. You know, we'd be looking at negatively because Jason Tatum never got it going. Jalen just cooled off if they'd lost this game. But the fact that they won, it tells me that whatever they did kind of worked. Jalen going and covering Paul George more, all that worked. But it's true. Like, I don't know why he gets iced out, and I don't know if it's him or the team, whatever. Raisin says, I hope Ainge doesn't get complacent and doesn't trade for anybody. I hope not to. Let's see. Jan says, small ball causes injuries. No injuries with Taco. Hey, fair. Gear says, I have a good feeling we might be seeing a Barnes trade. I would take Barnes, but like I keep saying, I think you're paying the superstar price for a non-superstar. He's expensive. I think, you know, obviously the TPE would be in play here. I would be fine. I'd go to bed happy at night with Harrison Barnes. I think a team gets a lot better, but I'm still not, like, you guys know me. I have had the same take since the TPE was pretty much announced. I don't need to go and use all of that TP up right now if it's me. You know, I could take, you know, getting like a few guys that are cheaper and whatnot and building this team all around and then maybe making, you know, a little bit of a splash in the offseason or something. But I do agree something needs to happen, right? Something. Guys, make sure to like this stream. It looks like we're at 24. I see that update. 27. Hit that like button. If we have 27 people in YouTube right now, one, if you're watching on Periscope or Twitch, get over to YouTube. Let's get that number up, right? But let's hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I literally get like, I wake up in the morning and if that sub count has gone up one, I'm like a little kid on Christmas. I'm like, let's go. It went up. Oh, I love it. Pretty soon. And this is something, one of my buddies was talking to me about this. You guys are the OGs so far. You tell me what you think, because apparently, you know, I should be claiming that, you know, the first 500 or the first 400 or something, or closer to that number, can consider themselves OGs of the stream. I don't know. You guys tell me what number makes sense. I'm probably thinking like the first 500 subscribers can consider themselves OGs and no one else can. Let's see. I think I lost my place here. I got this, though. Don't worry. I'm going to bounce back. Sergio says, Beverly was being a pest as always. Wish we could have seen Smart match his intensity. Yeah, Beverly was like, obviously he's going to talk his trash and whatnot. I would have loved to seen Smart kind of counter that. But I don't know. Beverly, like, a couple years ago, I was so in on him. But now it's like I don't see him walk the walk as much as he talks. But he is a pest, for sure. He was up in Tatum's grill. Quinn saying, how hard is it to see Rob got up for those clutch late rebounds? Never seen Tice get up for those. Tucker says, primetime broadcasters are amazed by Rob Williams because Brad has been keeping a leash on him. Seriously. They're like, whoa, look at this guy dunk. And we're like, yeah, no. We've been saying play Robert Williams. We've been saying start Robert Williams. And they're like, they've never seen him before. Raisin saying Celtics could still benefit from Harrison Barnes or Eric Gordon. Yeah, I think any name bringing in here. I think going after some of those Rockets guys, and I think I want to say it was Tim on the pregame show on the channel, another reason to subscribe to the YouTube channel, had mentioned like going after those Houston players. Any Houston players could be on the table, right? They are an absolute dumpster fire right now, and they have some good role guys. Gear says the way the Clippers built that team is what we need to do. Guys like Batum and Reggie Jackson step up big time when Kawhi is out. 100%. Kale says, you'd think teams won't, but Danny Ainge goes around not doing anything, and then he pops up in the daylight with a robbery from time to time. From time to time is key. Sergio says, if Timelord develops a mid-range, he'd be lethal. He would be filthy. If he, you know that little shot that he takes, and then he makes it, and you're like, whoa. Good thing I got Manscaped, because I'm looking at what's going on down there, and that was incredible what I just watched. When Robert Williams makes those shots, it gives me that little bit of like, this guy has something in him. Because there's a lot of big men in the league that even when they shoot, it's an absolute brick, or if it goes in, it doesn't look like it should have gone in, and you're like, that guy's just never going to shoot. I'll tell you what right now, that guy's never going to be able to shoot. I'm not saying Robert Williams is going to be a shooter, but that mid-range that he makes from time to time just looks fluid. It looks, repeatable. Let's hope that becomes part of his game, because that'd be incredible. Ian says, Kemba wins these games, doesn't win them in the final series. Saw that in the bubble, and this year too. I don't know about that. I mean, Kemba's apparently more healthy than he was then. I think that, it's your word against mine in saying Kemba's not going to show up later in the year. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong, because we're not at that place. So it really is just a toss-up. But if he's healthy, I'm willing to say he's gonna do this in the finals, or not the finals, but later on in the year. And one thing I want to say too, we talked about it in the stream earlier in the year, and I brought up the stats. Kemba Walker, with the exception of like 2 or 3 games in the entire playoff run, averaged like 25 or 22 and 6 or something. That last 2 games against Toronto, when they started going box and one and whatnot, and then a couple games against the Heat, Kemba Walker absolutely tarnished what he was doing in the playoffs. And Celtics fans don't remember how good he was prior to that. Go ahead, look up his game logs in the postseason last year. You take out some of those absolutely bad games against Toronto, games 6 and 7 in particular, and then a few of them in Miami, and Kemba Walker was playing phenomenal in the playoffs, and then it just crashed. Kale says, you look really tan, you've been in the sun. Yeah, I got this sun thing right up here, and look at me. Look, I swear to God, I'm red because the camera, white balance, settings, whatever, it's all messed up. I swear, I have an amazingly non-red complexion. Isaiah says, hit that like button and freak. Hey, I'll tell this. We said it, and we keep saying it, and it keeps working. If you hit the subscribe button, it's 2 points for the Celtics next game. That's extra points. You hit the like button, it's 1 extra point. AKA, subscribe button plus like button equals Celtics win. I didn't make the formula or the rules. It just is what it is. So, I mean, if you don't hit the like button, you're probably a Sixers fan, Brooklyn fan, Lakers fan, or you just want the Celtics to lose. Whatever. Gear says, if we get 30 likes, you got to chug beers on wins. Hey, if that game happens on Thursday and they win that game, that's 4 in a row heading into All-Star break. We got a discount on the merch. We could be looking at another shotgun, just saying. Tucker says, Celtics are playing through Rob at the center, and when Kemba, Brown, and Tatum is in together, that reduces the selfish ISO game. It does, because it gives them a guy to lob it up to. Multiple times during that game, it wasn't an alley-oop opportunity. Really, it wasn't an alley-oop opportunity, but they said, hey, screw the opportunity. I'm going to throw it higher than the other guy can jump. And you know who can jump that high? Robert Williams. Tommy says, I've been saying it for a while, that we do not need to bring in another big. We got 3 that are all decent. We need a wing to eat up Semi's minutes. I'm so glad Grant's out of the rotation. The fact that he's not even like a factor now is great. It is, because he just has stunk. Like, maybe later in the year, Grant Williams comes back and plays, but for now, he's out of the rotation. So at least it minimizes the problem. Now, to your point, Tommy, we have to think, okay, how do we fix the Semi minutes? You know what I mean? Now we have this guy, but how do we play him? And Semi, honestly, looks like he led the way in plus minus. I had a couple big threes. I didn't hate Semi tonight, but that's the point. You don't want to rely on Semi. You know what I mean? That's the issue. Raiden says, I really want to see Pritchard and Rob in Boston for a while. I know that would be a great couple to have, because they're just going to get better and better and better. Oh man, this chat is going bonkers on me tonight. It's killing me. Greg says, Robert Williams is starting, is just going to happen soon enough. Would be shocked to see Tyser Thompson trade. Wouldn't be. Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either whatsoever. And I just don't see how, like, I know it's like a shtick that we're all playing here, like, start Robert Williams, but legitimately, how can you not start this guy? He's playing 20-plus minutes in some games, like tonight. This was one of his higher minute totals, but you can't say you're, like, watching the injury. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing him 20 minutes. Start him. He actually outpaced Tristan Thompson tonight in minutes, which is crazy. I don't know if he's done that this year. Isaiah saying quality content from this channel. Subscribe and turn the damn bell on. I appreciate that, man. Guys, yeah, if you do want to turn that notification bell on, it's only going to help you. That way you can be one of the original ones in the stream, you know, Noti Gang and whatnot. Get in here first, and I see your comments earlier. Even though we're flying through comments tonight, I'm probably doing one of my all-time bad jobs of reading comments and chat. But hey, I'm doing my best. I promise. I promise. Blackjack saying, what's up with Brad Stevens, like, for real? I think he had a decent game tonight. I do. Now, will he keep this up? I don't know, but I think Brad Stevens called the timely timeouts. Other than, you know, not playing Robert Williams for stretches of that game, I guess, I think he played pretty well, coached pretty well tonight. Isaiah says same for PP. I would love to see Pritchard, you know, getting more minutes. If they could go Robert Williams and Pritchard as, you know, and then I guess either Thompson or Smart, depending on who starts off the bench. That's a solid, like, I know I've said before the Celtics can barely go 7 deep. That's a solid. If those guys are playing, like if Peyton Pritchard and Robert Williams are playing to their potential, I mean, those are 2 absolute solid bench pieces. I want Robert Williams to start, but if he doesn't, solid bench pieces. And then if he starts and you have Tice and Thompson off the bench, like, those are amazing bench bigs. I don't care what anyone says. Like Thompson, hate Thompson. Like Tice, hate Tice. Those guys off the bench are great. They are. Gear says if Rob could get that down from Tice, the mid-range, that would be good. Jen says you are the best Celtics commentator. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Gorman and Scalabrini are bad. I think Mike's pretty good. I think Scal is a bullshitter, though. I think he just pulls stuff out of his ass and throws it against the TV and hopes that listeners' ears stick. That definitely didn't make sense, but you guys know exactly what I mean. Blackjack saying Kemba is solid. That is for damn sure. Ian says Team C should target multiple players / steals. Cleveland, New Orleans, Orlando, and Houston. I think that Houston, that just kind of bumped into my mind today when I heard it, and I do think that would be huge in terms of, you know, guys that they could get at a bargain. Like, everyone wants out of there. It's a dumpster fire. You can get some guys cheap there. All right, I'm going to say it one more time. I know I'm like a salesman right now trying to, you know, push this in your faces, but we are sponsored by Manscaped tonight, so please head over to manscaped.com, support your boy, use the promo code Celtics Live, save 20% off and free shipping. That box contains a bunch of stuff that they sent me, some used, some not used, so I'm not going to show you the stuff, but it's good. It's good stuff. It makes the job a lot easier, I can guarantee that. Kale says we're currently at 28 likes, 2 more. I know I'm probably a little bit behind. What are we at? Are we at 30 yet? I don't know if we've hit, I don't know. I really don't know if we've hit 30 likes in a stream real time before. I mean, we've hit 30 likes plenty on the channel, right? But that's after the fact. I don't know if we've hit 30 likes on the stream live. Ubi says the thing that Kemba is he can't play defense, so if he's not producing on offense, he's basically useless on the court. That's fair, but with an ideal Kemba, you aren't getting a guy that isn't producing on offense, right? So that's my counter to that. So that if should be really, really minimal. But we haven't truly seen a consistent Kemba this year. Kale says, I don't know how I feel about Sam. He did okay late game, but IDK, whose fault that open corner 3 was. That was weird. They just let Paul George just fade into the corner, and it's like, okay, is anyone going to try and cover him? I don't know. It was weird. I don't know if it was Semi's fault or that was almost, to me, like, just a mishap. Now, I wouldn't say, now the national broadcast was like, Paul George took his time and, like, leaked down to the corner. Like, what? You think, like, Paul George walked into an open shot. It wasn't him being a superstar. Pablo says, great win. More importantly, Kemba seems to have found his groove. Williams continues to impress. If Kemba finds his groove and Williams continues to impress, we got a good season ahead of us, regardless of trades. Now, I do think that they need moves to get over the hump. We'll say that. But in terms of being out of the woods, in terms of losing to bad teams and teams you should beat, those are 2 huge reasons that could help us out here. Gear says, it's crazy how many people blame Tatum and Jalen for too much ISO. If the other guys were as stiff off the ball, maybe they would touch the ball. It's fair. It's fair. All this positivity is boring. F Brad, Kemba, Grant Williams, and Danny. Please discuss. I don't know why. I'm not mad at Brad or Kemba tonight. I don't know how you can be news. Grant Williams, I'll give you that. The guy stinks. And honestly, it's positive, though. If I talk Grant Williams right now, it's positive because the guy has literally crapped his pants out of the rotation. So I can't be negative about that. And then Danny Ainge, I hate to see that he says he's not going to do anything. That kind of pisses me off. That's negative to me. But, I mean, I don't know. I just can't see them not doing anything. And it's weird. One day you hear he's targeting wings that can score or size that can shoot. And then the next day it's like Danny Ainge doesn't expect to do anything. I'm like, okay, well, clearly no one really knows what Danny's thinking because sources from all over the place are coming out here. Let's see. I'm just saying with Kemba, they lost 6 seed Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. The East has gotten way better. I don't know. I'll give you that. I don't know if this is like the Celtics year. The East has gotten a lot better, and some of these issues that they've had, I hope that they can fix. But if they make no moves, and I don't think it's going to be this year. Serge says Aaron Gordon and Fournier would make this team way better. Those are obviously 2 guys that would make this team way better. I think it'd probably be one of those guys based on money, though, right? But I do think both those guys could help this team. Greg says Terrence Ross makes $13.5 a year. I would gladly take him for that price. The guy's a baller. He would be an unbelievable bench guy. 13.5. That is a little much. Actually, no, it's not. That's right. That's on the higher end of the sweet spot, but it's still in the sweet spot for me. I would take Terrence Ross. Ubi says I want the Terrence Ross that isn't the Terrence Ross that can be the ball hog sometimes. That's my only ask. Now, would this, if they ran with the bench unit, would a ball hog that can actually score be the worst thing? No, but it's never good to have the ball hog on the team. And I'm not saying he's a total ball hog, but he does have it in him for sure. Ubi says, I don't hate Semi, but the first quarter he took a step back 3 and I was ready to rip my eyes out, but he hit it. That's the thing with me and Semi too. Semi, he all of a sudden thinks he's like, the best shooter of all time and shoots it. And all of a sudden I'm like, no. Yes. He's like a mini Marcus Smart on that level where you have the don't shoot it. He's shooting it. No. Then it goes in and you're like, oh, I wanted him to shoot it the whole time. But Semi does do that because every time Semi shoots, he's seemingly playing with the starters a lot, right? Every time he shoots, he's taking that shot away from someone else. Kale says Timelord's last 5 games, 28, 18, 22, 14, 14. Damn. Tommy saying Jeff looks much better, playing much harder. Yeah, and he's not doing too much. He had it one time. It was like, I think it was at the end of one of the quarters of the shot clock where Jeff Teague just dribbled around and passed it to Pritchard with like 1 second left. He dribbled all around. That I don't like. Actually only think he got the ball up the court with like 8 seconds too, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't the biggest deal. But Jeff Teague seemingly is doing less and like trying. We didn't have effort from him, but now he's trying. And if he's going to go out there and play 15 minutes a game and contribute slightly, I'm fine with that. Let's see. Tucker saying all coaches take notice. Stephen A. Smith call out their job. Yeah. Hey, he calls out Brad Stevens, but I would like to say this, Tucker, and I think that I'm right here. I think Brad Stevens probably heard me calling him out, right? Like if we're being completely honest, he probably listened to this show more than Stephen A. Smith. But yeah, he did. He called him out, and then all of a sudden Brad's kind of, stepping it up a little bit. Coincidence? I think not. Finally, Brad Stevens probably looked in the mirror and said, oh, wait a second. I can improve. Because maybe Brad was saying, these guys aren't giving me effort. I'm not getting what I need from the players. And then he's like, whoa, wait a second. I'm the coach. I can probably have an impact on that. Greg says, I always said I would love Tice on the bench, and he's a great bench player, but him starting isn't the starter. Neither. Here it is. I always botch the comments at some point. I always said I would love Tice on the bench, and he's a great bench player, but him starting isn't it. He isn't a starter to me, never will be either, I don't think. I think he can start, not on a championship team. Is that a fair compromise there? He is a starting big in this league. I'm not even going to say center. Starting big in this league, but not on a championship team. That's how I look at it. Gear says, after All-Star break, I hope Neesmith starts coming off the bench before Semi. Hayden says, we need to get ourselves in front of the damn Knicks. Did the Knicks win tonight? Did the Knicks win tonight? No, they didn't. They got smoked by the Spurs. That helps, I guess. Raisin says, still don't understand why Semi is in closing lineups. It must be the defense. They must trust him, which I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Because Semi, when he touches the ball, I almost have a mini heart attack. Kale says, we hit 30. We got to win on the court and the stream. Ubi says, Kemba, the thing is about in the playoffs the series when you talk about when the thing is was about the playoff series when you were talking about the bad games. I feel like I missed your previous comment. My bad. Dean says, TT playing really well, got off to a good start. He's a glue guy for this role. I like what Tristan Thompson has done for us, to be completely honest. Isaiah says, that reminds me of there's a Twitter account counting the fouls and bad calls on Tice. War on Tice, if I can remember it. Abdul says, can we trade G. Williams for some Gatorades? New says, agree about TT. Needs more respect. He does. Isaiah's throwing, hey, don't get greedy here, Isaiah. You want Gatorades and 3 towels? For Grant Williams? They better be used towels. I'll give you that. If they're used towels, we're good. But 3 brand new towels for Grant Williams? Come on. What team's dumb enough to give us that? Let's see. Ian says, I was negative after last win too, but I think this is a good one. I want wins so they make a trade. Abdul says, news saying Ev over Stephen A. That's the truth. Even though I do, like, I go back and forth on Stephen A. I think he's an absolute clown, but you got to, even if you don't like him, you have to give the props to a guy that argues so well as him and backs stuff up. He's not like Nick Wrong, who just says stupid stuff, and then, like, when someone counters, he's like, blah, 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 blah. It's Stephen A. I do like Stephen A. without liking him, if that makes sense. And it's not like I hate him. I just don't have, like, I just can almost respect how, like, of a monster he is. Let's see. Dean saying he's solid. 3 Gatorades, 4 towels in a bag. Isaiah. 3 Gatorades, 4 towels, and a bag of chips for Grant Williams. Do you think this is like 2K? You go in association mode or something, and you can force the trade? Give me 1 used towel and a half drinking Gatorade with maybe like a loogie phlegm spit in there. Take it for Grant. But geez, 3 Gatorades, 4 towels, and a bag of chips? Damn. Ian saying all we can ask for is right now is wins before the break. Smart comes back after and a small move at the deadline. That's what I want too. I'm totally aligned with that. They don't need to make the huge splash. Small moves, maybe I would say I want like a couple guys if that would be amazing. Don't clip that. Don't clip me saying I would want a couple guys. Not there's anything wrong with that, but I would want a couple additional players on this team. And, you know, Smart coming back, momentum into the break. That's perfect. You don't need to go out and get a blockbuster right now. Would it be nice if they did? Sure. But no. Tiffany saying Semi plays defense. That's why I think he gets the minutes. And he does. He does play defense. He plays hard defense. And that's like even if he's not playing good defense that game, he's a strong guy that is really, really working on defense, which you can ask. I mean, that's good to ask for. Raisin says, feels like a disaster is about to unfold every time Grant or Semi comes on. Kale says 37% 3-point shooter that can rebound and play defense. Greg says Stephen A is hilarious. His memes and his burner accounts are awesome on Twitter. They are. That's my thing with Stephen A. Like, he's created this like world of just him, which I love. Blackjack says you need to take this on Saturday Night Live. Now on Saturday Night Live, a Celtics segment. I got that on the sound drop. How about this one? I don't know if this is the right one. Oh, it was. Nailed it. These are just colored squares that I have to push, so I don't even really know what they do. Raisin says Grant isn't even worth an empty bag of chips. No. You know what Grant's worth? The chips maybe that are at the end of the bag that you've left open, whatever, and they have the little green on them. There you go. Abdul says, the best deal is to trade him for an extra chair for Romeo. Hayden says, look at the West standings versus the East. It's crazy. The Celtics would be terrible if they're in the West. Like, terrible. And yet they're still just bouncing between, like, in the last week, they've gone from, like, the 9th/10th seed to the 3rd seed almost. Like, what is this East? News says if the Celtics win next game, give Grant a code to pay 40% or more for merch. Hey, not gonna lie, if Grant Williams were to ever like correspond with me or come on this show or the podcast, I'd immediately be like, hey, it was the chat. They were the ones that were mean to you. I've been a supporter forever. Hey, just being honest. If I could have him on the show, I'd be like, hey man, I love you. Or would I? I don't know. Hey, probably would. I'm a wimp. Isaiah says 1 towel and a brand new Gatorade. That's it. Hey, that is a little bit of a negotiating there. 1 towel and a brand new Gatorade, maybe a bad flavor. That's fair. Blackjack saying awesome, nailed it. Isaiah saying maybe if Grant Williams shaved, he can play better. I don't know if Grant Williams can play better. Maybe if Grant Williams somehow traded bodies with Robert Williams, that's how he could play better. You know what I mean? There we go. I don't need, like, Grant Williams is a 4'11", 362-pound power forward. Like, what's he doing out here? I don't know. Dean says, Ev, do you sell those teddy bear Celts for toddlers? Dean, DM me on Twitter. We might be able to hook you up. We don't have it for sale now, but I could check with our warehouse and see if we can make anything work. So just hit me up on Twitter and we'll see if we can figure it out. But guys, I think that is going to do it for the stream. We got another Celtics dub tonight. 3 in a row. We're looking for 4. Who knows if that game's going to get played? Definitely something to keep an eye on. But I will ask, if you guys are watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like this stream, turn on the bell notifications. Keep coming back for the post games. We have awesome conversation, win or lose. You know, moot point game or a huge game with a big storyline. We always have a good time. So I appreciate that. You guys fuel this stream, and I love doing it. And one last time, big thank you. I'm not pitching it to you guys right now. I'm saying thank you to these guys. Thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring tonight's episode and the future episodes through March. Use code Celtics Live to save 20% off manscaped.com. You also get free shipping with that, and it is really, really, really good product. But I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Hopefully we're talking about another win going into All-Star break. Whew. Hey, I think I progressively got less red throughout the stream, which is good. It means that I was able to decompress and, finish off the stream a little bit more normal of a skin color. So I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Thank you very much for watching. Go Celts.